Are you silky, scrunchy, or crunchy? Or are you feeling the pressure to be something other than what you actually are? Whatever the case may be, we're going to chat about it today, along with the weirdest things we've had to say to our toddlers lately, and all about parenting. The hottest things that we've found, hottest deals, best options to help us out. And we're just going to cover a lot of random parenting stuff this time around.
Yep.
And we just want to challenge you to really think about your life, your parenting, and how the Lord is asking you to grow closer to Him in it.
So with that, we invite you to
Holy surrender. Okay, I guess, what are we surrendering about each child to the Lord this week? I guess it doesn't have to be every child. For me, that's 2, though, so it's not hard.
Yeah, I've got 4.
Yeah,
And there's
double
a lot
points.
to leveled up.
I'm not working on it, but I will be soon. So
God is giving me a break.
the Lord instructed me to take one because He knew we would be doing things to our house.
I think
for
He
His
just knows
purposes.
I'm tapped out. Like 3 kids in 3 years. Mommy's tired. I need a breather.
Mommy's
fine.
Is that your prayer life? 3 kids in
Yes.
3 years, Lord.
Mommy's tired. Honestly, though, that is my prayer. A lot of time is like, it's fine. Like, read my heart because I don't have the energy to tell you today.
I already have a good quote from a show that you can comment below if you know. This might become the podcast thing. But my brain went to a show where
Just say it. I might know.
Yo God, it's Barney. What up?
Okay, I don't know if that's funny.
If you know what show this is.
Yeah, comment because I'm curious.
Comment below.
And we'll probably forget by
Yo God,
the
it's
end of
Barney.
the episode, so.
What up?
Have you seen the reels? It's like, hey, Jesus, it's me. Listen.
It's been 2 seconds since we talked, but
Oh, it's, they say, I was reading that story in the Bible where you said, what is it? Better a husband to be in the desert than with a nagging wife or something like that, And she goes, I was just curious, is it like any desert? I try so hard not to nag at Brayden, but I feel like I fail from time to time.
ooh, we'll have to do a
wife's
marriage podcast.
episode.
Yes, about marriage. But I'm surrendering Liam because he's turning 3, and that comes
Ouch.
with new developmental things.
It is
And
an ouchie year for us.
it's just, I want him to be successful, and he's on a struggle bus, and then Leo is me, so I'm surrendering him because he's me. Copy paste Jill.
That's so real.
So sorry. The spiral staircase falls at me.
All right, top to bottom, Joanna. Whew. She is going to be 9 on Wednesday, and so she's starting to get attitude, and she's starting to talk back, and so I am surrendering. Oh, and then she's also struggling with school. So we got a big touch of ADHD, and it is really hard this year. With 3rd grade is a big step in grade school, and it's like no training wheels, and it's tough. It's been a tough year for us, but so I'm just surrendering all of the things for Joanna, primarily her emotions, to handle it all, because that seems to be hard. Okay, and then Sam. Sam is mini Brayden. Sam
Shouldn't that mean you get along?
You would think.
Yes. That's why Liam and I get along so well.
So, that's so funny, because I don't... This is going to sound terrible. Okay, so bear with me. I love my husband so much it hurts sometimes, right? He is one of the most stubborn people. And the first year of marriage, I did a lot of growing in how the heck do I communicate with this man? Because, like, we communicated so well dating and engaged. And then when we got married, it was like, whoa. Like, living with each other, that was hard. Because, you know, like, at our wedding, everybody was like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, moving in with my husband. And they're like, you don't do that? You're not there yet? No. You're not supposed to be. So living with him and learning how to communicate. And then I feel like I'm doing that all over with my son now. With Sam, like, learning to communicate. And I have figured out he is very much a logic person. He wants to know the why behind the no.
Yep, that's Liam. 110%.
Yeah. So I am surrendering his stubbornness. And then we've got Charlotte. Charlotte is 3. She's got also big attitude. My kids get their personalities from me. Like, we don't do anything small at my house, including the attitude, apparently. So Charlotte is 3. She is very sweet, but she also is like my way or the highway. Braden and I are joking because she's going to go to preschool next year, full-time preschool. And she is going to be running the school by Christmas. It's just the way that it is. So,
my brother's like that, and we joke that, like, death will come for him, and he'll be like,
No.
I'm sorry. I don't have any appointments available. You're going to have to come back later.
Maybe I can pencil you in for 2 years from now.
Yeah.
You're generous.
He would do that. He would push it. He'd be like,
I got more to do, thanks.
I'll meet you when I say I'm done.
I run the show.
It's not over till I
It's
say
really
it's
cute
over.
how you think you have a choice. Okay, so for Charlotte, it is, I am surrendering her strong-willedness. And then my Lukey Pookie.
Words. Boy needs words. More words.
Oh my gosh, the boy needs to speak. He is so, and it's because he doesn't have to. I know he knows what we're saying. It's not a lack of comprehension. I'm not concerned about him. He just doesn't want to talk. And I think part of it is he doesn't want to be embarrassed. So, like, if he gets it wrong, and I think part of that is because of Sam. Because if Sam does something wrong, or, like, when he gets dressed in the morning, Samuel, he will go, "Don't look at me!" Or, like, this week it was, "Mom, I don't want Dad to look at me." And I'm like, he's going to have to take you to school. So he's going to look at you to get you in the car seat. He's going to, like, so I've had talks with Sam about, this is unreasonable. People in the house have eyes, actually.
Not watchable.
Fun fact. So you're going to have to get over that. And that's Braden. He's not a morning person, so yay for me. But Luke doesn't talk. I should clarify. He talks a little bit. He found a new word today. Don't ask me what it was because I don't remember. But I was like, yeah, that is.
Good job.
Yay. But I tried not to make a big deal out of it. You know, like if I don't make a big deal out of it, then maybe he'll do more.
Interesting.
So, because that's what it did with Sam potty training. Everybody said the first time they go potty in the toilet, make a big deal out of it. And so I did. Like, we threw a freaking party. And he was so embarrassed. He was like, no. And then we regressed and he didn't potty train for another, 6 months.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I make a big deal out of it, but I'm sure I definitely acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. Like, high five, knuckles, bam.
Yeah, Sam
nailed it.
None of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, Sam got potty trained because we said you can't wear a diaper to school. Like, you have to be a big boy to go to school, and babies wear diapers. And that's what worked for him.
That's funny. I was just listening to Love and Logic. And they were talking about how the whole point of being a kid is wanting to be big. Mm-hmm. Like, that is the whole motivating factor. Yeah. Which is so true, because I remember being in every age bracket I can remember and wanting to be the next one.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Okay, so you know how you told me you didn't like country music and you thought that the song that I picked for the music moment in the magazine was, well, it was country. And you were like, no. And I was like,
I didn't change it.
No, I know. We would have had a discussion.
She was like, I locked that block. You can't touch it.
You don't get to touch it.
That concert block?
So Jill was supposed to do the music moment in the magazine, and I sent her this song, and I was like, "Hey, I just, maybe we could do this one." And she was like, "No," because she didn't say no, but she was like, "Is that country?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was raised on 90s country. Sorry,
I was raised on late 90s, early 2000s rock.
I know, like my taste in music has much evolved since dating Brayden. So
It's not. It just has followed
that's fine.
the rock trend.
That's okay. And now I hardly ever listen to secular music, so it's like we're bumping Jesus all the time.
We're bumping Jesus.
So, but no, I ended up doing I kept thinking about the song and like why it struck me so hard that time I heard it, because I hadn't heard it in like a decade or better. And it's about that, all about I want to be in the next space. I'm ready to move on. I want that.
And we do that as parents. Like, we avoid the suffering that we're encountering right now in order to be in the next stage.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, okay, when this season is over, it'll be better. Or if
I can't tell you how many times I said that when Sam was in his 3s.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to lean into the suffering.
Oof.
No, I am not, like, sadistic or anything. Like, it is not, it's not like a thing.
You don't get a high from it.
No, that's not what it's about. I just recognize that if I continue to run from it, it's going to make it worse. Like, if I don't face what's in front of me, I'm not carrying my cross through it. And I mean, or at least asking the Lord, is this my cross to bear? A question that he really brought to my attention lately was, what is the source of this behavior? And I asked him to give me more of the Holy Spirit so that I could be more aware of what the root of those behaviors are.
Yeah.
And really what I've been hearing is he's just 3.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a big, scary, crazy world out there. And we've unlocked the stage where he's going to choose things that cause him to suffer in some way or another. Like, he will choose whether or not he's going to nap.
Yeah.
And there are consequences one way or another. And those are all his choice.
Right.
That choice is never taken from him. I say that as he's literally banging on the wall.
I was not going to address it, but...
Hey, this is the Elephant in the Room parenting podcast.
Fake it till you make it. We don't hear a thing. I think I've said that in every episode so far. Fake it till you make it. Hashtag parenting.
This is Haley.
That's it in a nutshell. Episode over.
No, that has nothing to do with being scrunchy or crunchy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love this conversation because I like to dabble. I like to go into every space and be like, you can be all 3. Although I'm getting crunchier in my old age.
If you are old, what does that make me?
You are not that much older than me.
I know, but I feel it.
Are we both in our 20s?
I will be 30 in 4 months.
Okay. Woo! You are still in your 20s.
I know. Brayden, that's actually
It's
funny.
just an age bracket, okay? There are no individual ages anymore. You're just in your 20s,
I know.
or your 30s, or your 40s.
So, like, 30 is wild for me, and I think it's just because I don't feel like I'm that old. Right? And I know that sounds stupid, because I am. But it's like, I don't... How did I get here? Like... What?
You kind of like blinked.
Yeah.
I do feel like, in a way, and maybe that's like getting married and having kids. They tell you, like, time accelerates. It feels like.
That's the truth.
My anniversary's coming up, like, next week or something like that. And we'll have been married for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm 25. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, half my 20s is gone.
Yeah.
And I started my 20s, like, getting married at 21. And, like, we've had 2 babies since then.
Yeah.
And, like, 4 baby businesses.
Yep. Sure enough.
Are you silky, crunchy, or scrunchy?
Scrunchy. I'm not all the way silky. Not at all.
I would say I'm, like, 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the way crunchy.
The crunchy side is very, very appealing to me, but there are certain things that I just can't get to. Right? Like, you're going to laugh at me for this one.
I'm prepared.
Cloth diapers. Nope.
Actually, same.
Really? That surprises me.
But this is the perfect time to plug Every Life.
Okay.
Okay? Every Life diapers are amazing for several reasons. They are so parent-friendly. They get shipped right to your door every month.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yes, and their customer service is insanely good.
Yeah.
I can change my order via text message. It is so fast. And, like, I'm certain that part of the price is that they expedite the order because it gets here so fast. It's, like, within 2 or 3 days. They're on my doorstep like clockwork. And it's really easy to change how much you need them and what you need. But also, they are made totally naturally.
I love that because
Yes.
so much garbage and
Yes.
that's
It's like
that's an entirely
their entire thing
separate
is like
podcast.
a diaper with equal value to the dignity of the life that it's
I love
for.
that.
Yes, they like their slogan is "Make More Babies." I have a "Make More Babies" tote bag now.
That's amazing.
Because I have a code for them. If you want 10% off your first order, you can use my code 10Jillian to get 10% off your first order, and you'll want to because they're amazing. No synthetic fibers, no anything crazy, and I am not kidding you.
They work like they're good.
They have the most insane absorbency ability ever. Like, my niece was wearing one, and we went to, like, a family party, and they had a pond there, and the kids were all playing in it. She had the most massive little booty because it had inflated. It was, like, this thick. I kid you not, like, at least an inch thick all the way around. But it held all of that.
That's amazing.
It has,
Oh
my
gosh.
kids never leak out of it, and they don't get diaper rashes. We had to buy the crappy stuff from, like, Dollar General.
Yeah.
Diaper rashes. I kid you not. They are amazing, and they are worth it. They are a pro-life company, pro-baby
I
company.
love that.
And they recently donated, they have wipes, too, that are fragrance, like, that are natural as well. And they recently donated, they did a whole drive to donate to the survivors of Hurricane Helene and all that stuff. And I was like, great,
that.
they should have these diapers.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, they are so good. Cloth diapers are a lot of work.
Listen, more power to those of you that do it.
Yes.
It's not for me. So I had a kiddo in my daycare who did cloth diapers, and I did it. I did it because mom asked me to. But that just solidified that this is not for me.
That was your discernment point.
Yes.
Yes. I have a friend who's doing oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher this, and she'll correct me later, and that's totally needed. But it's like the something elimination method. You heard of that? So the principle is like not teaching kids to soil themselves and then teaching them to go to the bathroom later. Like, that you can actually tell when a baby is about to poop and you get them to the toilet.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've seen that. I don't know what the method you're talking about is called. I don't remember the name. But I've seen the method. And
if you're listening and you do this method and you know what we're talking about, comment the name below.
Yeah.
Help us out.
So when I was getting ready to potty train Sam, we were... What was it? The mom friend who brought her kiddo in cloth diapers was the one who told me about this. It was like potty train in 3 days because like you just let your kid go naked, and like they go from like completely oblivious to them peeing in a diaper, right? They don't know, they just do, and they have since they were born. So by being naked, they are aware that it goes from I'm going to I have to go, and like I read or I had audiobook read it to me.
The potty training in 3 days book?
Yeah.
I read that one too. But I did my own thing.
Yeah. So I didn't actually because we didn't fully do that.
We did a lot of it.
We did a long t-shirt because Joanna was 6, I think, and we were trying to teach her about like certain body parts need to stay hidden, and so it was like kind of trying to balance the potty training and being completely naked as well as having an opposite gender sibling that's old enough
really
to
in the book being naked.
The one that I read it is.
Okay, the one that I read is short shirt underwear. like training underwear.
Oh, yeah, no, this one said nothing.
Oh, okay.
And I
No,
was like,
this was not streaking centered.
I know, they were like, shut your curtains, don't go outside. Like,
Okay, same concept minus the curtains. They were like, do not go anywhere for three days straight. You'll be staying in it and you'll be potty training. And I was like, how about not?
I know.
Like that's really hard for us to do with our
Yeah.
schedule. And so it also recommended
There's no
using
great
gummy
time to
bears
potty train.
temporarily. No, but he was showing signs. He was interested. He was excited. He was able to like hold it longer. Like the signs were there, and the book kind of goes through that. But what I did do the gummy bear thing. But I told him once the gummy bears in the jar were gone, he was good enough to not need them anymore. Like that was the level up.
Yeah.
So I didn't set it up so that I had to do gummy bears for a long time. It was like the first 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
The other thing I kind of disagreed with was like the book suggested like making them drink a ton of fluid so they're peeing all the time.
That didn't
So
work
they
for
have
us
to
either.
go and practice. I was like, I don't want that because the body has a natural rhythm of going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like once you figure it out, like we go probably like 2, 3, 4 times a day maybe, depending on whether our husbands are home or not. And that's this like the kids are going to figure out their own rhythm of that.
Yeah.
Liam now goes like 3 or 4 times a day unless he's had a bunch of excess liquids.
Yeah.
And it settled itself out, and I didn't feel like I needed to force the liquids because it felt like it was going to throw his learning curve of really knowing when he needed to go off.
Yeah.
So I definitely did my own things with that.
Yeah.
But
And I think that's.
I'm not, the cloth diapers is a lot for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just don't desire, I think I told this to my friend, I was like, I don't desire to put, like, with 2 kids already, the effort into, like, getting the baby to the toilet.
Yeah.
That's just, like, that is where
No.
I'm not crunchy enough to do that.
No.
But I am a sourdough chick, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I
kind
aspire
of
to
by
be a sourdough
force.
girly.
So, gluten bothers me. Like, within, like, 15 minutes of eating it, I get a really bad headache.
No.
Sometimes 5. Yeah, it drives me nuts. But it hurts. Feels like someone slammed a brick into my head. It's like,
Ow.
yes, and it comes on like that, too. So, anyways, I found the sensitivity after Leo was born. Like, I've kind of been discerning it through my life, but it bothered Leo's tummy. And so I didn't eat gluten while I was nursing him. And then I've just never been able to go back.
Yeah.
Sourdough is a friend to anyone who's trying to eat gluten-free on the cheap.
Yeah.
Essentially, you probably have to long ferment everything for it to really be truly gluten-free, but I'm like gluten sensitive. Like it doesn't cause my body to completely like
You're not falling apart.
Yes, I'm not falling apart when I have it. It gives me a headache and I don't like that. So it's clear
Right.
that my body's sensitive to it. But anyways, like and a common misconception, you don't have to make the fancy pretty sourdough loaves. I never make that.
Do you do stretch and folds?
Nope. Never.
Are you serious?
Dead.
Okay, because as a matter of fact, I am deceased.
Oh no, guys,
So-
she has flatlined.
So many things going on in my brain right now.
I want to I got to break down these misconceptions for you.
Okay, because I want to do sourdough, but I know, like, the way that the internet is telling me to sourdough, I don't have the time.
I can't
Or the
sourdough
desire.
this hard.
Yeah. I need, like, a slacker sourdough.
Slacker
Like,
sourdough.
I don't, do you feed it every day?
I do because I use it that much. The other thing
Okay.
you can do is you can feed it once a week and stick it in the fridge.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it will freeze the fermentation, the growth of the bacteria that ferments it
Interesting.
until you take it out again. And then it has
Interesting.
to start again. Here's another misconception. You can make, it's not just bread that you can make a sourdough. You can make anything with sourdough.
I've seen crackers.
make-
I've seen...
Crackers, graham crackers, brownies,
Really?
cookies.
I just had your sugar cookie. That
Granola.
was really good, actually.
Yep, it was sourdough. Crescent rolls,
I've seen
biscuit dough, like you name it, bagels, cinnamon rolls.
that. I'm
like,
really interested in...
muffins,
the-
anything. It's all discard.
Yeah. I'm really interested in, like, discard crackers.
Yes,
Because
so-
my kids eat crackers like it's going out of style.
Discard is this. Like when you feed a sourdough, it doubles in size and it gets really bubbly and like thin and it's
I've seen
it's
people,
a whole
like,
thing.
shake it and it goes...
Yes. So that is an active starter because it's actively like it's actively multiplying. I don't know the actual term for it, so bear with me. But anything that is not doing that once it stops and it like recedes or whatever, it's discard. That's the only difference.
Interesting.
You can also feed it any flour, as long as you're feeding it equal parts flour and water.
Okay.
Me and my sister-in-law experimented with this because I wanted to do a better non-white refined flour. I wanted a legit flour that wasn't bleached, and I thought I had to restart the sourdough thing. And she was like, no, I just feed it whatever and it's fine and it's happy.
Huh.
It also likes slightly warmer temperatures.
Okay.
Well, it causes the bacteria to
Yeah.
grow, so I'll stick it in. I probably shouldn't stick it in my microwave.
Wait.
That's
No.
that's the silky
This
part
is
of me.
okay. This is my crunchy part. The microwave. Okay, don't get me wrong. I still use the microwave. Okay.
But I know that
I'm silky,
microwaves
aspiring
are bad for
crunchy.
I'm silky
With the microwave because I know it is so bad for you. The microwave is terrible.
and all of those
It
reels.
kills all of the nutrients in the food that you're cooking. I'm like, so I.
So I used it.
Shut up! I'm trying. I sit here and every time I use the microwave, I sit here and I'm like, I'm killing it. It is grass now.
Not, I'm killing it. You're like,
I am killing it.
It's dying.
It's terrible. So I try not to use the microwave. Like I've started. We got a tea kettle, and like my kids, Luke in particular, loves the instant oatmeal in the morning, and so I've been making his oatmeal with the boiled tea kettle water, not water,
Not
and
in
then the microwave.
Nice.
It takes like an extra minute, and he screams at me for it, but I'm like, this is better for you.
Hail Mary, full of grace. Help me through this. Yeah.
Give me, I imitate you. Give me your grace.
Help me to be
Mother
better
Mary,
choice.
make me like you.
Easier said than done.
Solid prayer.
Yes. I'm trying to think. I also have grown in a strong distaste for the medical community. Like doctors, I think are just not being taught certain things.
Yeah.
And like they're in a certain
Facts.
routine. I don't think that they're not smart, and I don't think that they don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't think it's anything against the doctors.
Right.
I think it's the education
Yes.
that they're receiving that I'm frustrated with.
Yes.
And I'm also a non-confrontational person, so I have a hard time. I need to have Haley
That's not me.
Haley and Ethan in like my delivery rooms.
So this might be a controversial topic, but I don't vaccinate my kids.
Oh, me neither.
I did Joanna because I had to send her to daycare, and I couldn't find a daycare that would not accept her not vaccinated. But
am
we spaced it
homeschooling my
out.
kids, so
We
thankfully that won't
spaced
be
it
a
out,
problem.
and we did it on my schedule, and it was just one shot at a time.
I am allergic to a lot of the shots.
Uh-huh.
I've had a lot of side effects. When I got my first shots as a baby, my thigh swelled up like significantly. My poor mom. She was already struggling with coming into motherhood, and then that happened.
Yeah.
So that was rough. And then I got I think it's the hepatitis one, the Gardasil,
Yep.
or whatever that you're supposed to get when you're in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember whatever it is.
Well, you get Hep B as a baby.
They found it. Yes, that one's I don't do the ones in the hospital either, and I don't circumcise my boys in the hospital either. But still do just out because my parents had a bad experience with they took him to a table in the hall around the corner and did it there.
Really?
Yes. So I just took my
that was
dad's word
different
for it.
us.
Well, I'm at a different hospital than them. But anyways, they found this later in a study, but I got severe acne across my entire face. Horrible, painful, and migraines. And they later found in a study that was a side effect of the Gardasil shot. So I only got one of the three, and my mom was like, she's done. I will not approve this anymore. So I know that genetically speaking, my kids probably have that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put them through that.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it,
That's
especially
it.
if they're going to be homeschooled.
And what's funny, and I get this, it's in November I had to take half of my children to the ER. That's a fun time. I hate going to the ER because, first of all, it's the ER. But second of all, when I have to take my kids, they say, are they all up to date on their vaccinations?
And you have to look them dead in the
Nope.
eye and say no.
Sure are not. Thanks for asking.
And they
then
always
I get a
hesitate.
lecture.
They always hesitate. They're like, well, mine don't question it anymore. I did switch primary, like, doctors to someone because the original one we went to really kind of tried to make us feel like dumb first-time parents for not giving our kid the shots. And I was like, I don't need my 3-week-old or whatever screaming bloody murder on this table because you're sticking a needle in him.
Yeah.
That he might be allergic to. I was like, I know I could do the extended thing. And I was like, it's not like it's too late.
Yeah.
It's not like if you don't do it their way, you'll never get vaccinated.
Right.
I'm just particular.
So the U.S. vaccinates, I think there's another country, and it might be Australia, but I might be wrong, so don't quote me. But they don't even start their vaccinations till 2. And we start them fresh out the womb.
In the hospital?
Yeah. Like, as they're assessing the baby and like, shot.
Well, the Hep B is for, it has a reason. It's just not like a common one.
Right.
Like, it's for the moms who might be strung out on drugs, who are using needles, or who might be doing other things.
Nice.
Any way you can get hepatitis B. Like,
Fill in the blanks.
fill in the blanks. I can assure you.
Ain't me. You don't gotta worry about that.
Exactly. And so that's where I kind of drew the line there.
So, we have a good primary, and she signs off on my kids for. Oh no! What time is it?
We're at like 34.
Oh no! Okay.
No, tell me the story.
Okay. So our primary signs off on my kids every year to go to school because they're not up to date. They gotta have a form for the nurse.
Of course.
And she signs it for me very willingly. She's lovely. But in the hospital, in the ER, everybody tells me, oh, you're anti-vax. And here's the education that you obviously don't have. And I'm like, that's not accurate. I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti all of the crap in the vax. Like,
make better vaccinations.
right.
And we'll talk.
I would love to give my kids the protection that they need. But I don't want them to have all these nasty side effects or all these metals that are in the vaccines. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do have one last question, though, before we go. Because I know we're running low on our time.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Everybody see Jill.
Epidural or no epidural? Yeah, I know.
She hit her watch. She was like, it's time. Stop talking.
We were like, 20 minutes. We're going to whip these.
We're trying, guys. But this is a lot of topic.
We like to talk.
We do. And we're good at it. Anyway. Okay, so epidural, not epidural. So I had an epidural with all 4 of my kids. I really, really, really wanted to try it without an epidural for Luke. But I was not progressing because I did not let my body do what it was supposed to do during my contractions.
Gotcha.
Like, I fought my contractions, and I labored really, really intensely for 4 hours, and they were like, you've gained half a centimeter. I'm like, no! So they were like, they were very open and very kind to letting me do what I wanted to do. They're like, we will let you labor, but you'll be here a really long time if you don't, like, chill.
If you don't chill out, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to chill because, these are the most intense labor contractions out of all of my children. Mm-hmm. It was so bad. And, like, the reason that I went to the hospital thinking I was in labor, I mean, I was, but I had a contraction that lasted 7 minutes beginning to end. And I was like, this is wrong. Nothing. This shouldn't be doing that. And so I was freaking out. Yeah. And that's probably why I was fighting my body, because I was like, you don't know what you're doing. Like,
I'm in control
let me
now.
steer. So the guy, the anesthesiologist came in, and he was like, I'm here for you. I'll do what you want, but here's what I think you should get it. And I went ahead and let him do it because it was starting to get late in the day. I was really tired. Mm-hmm. And
the usual reasons to get an epidural.
Also, though...
Uh-oh.
No, it's good. Luke is born on the feast day of 2 doctors of the church. So, like,
oh,
if I had waited for the epidural, like, he was born 10 minutes before midnight. Like, if I had waited any longer, it would have been... I had him at all times of the day.
2:14 and 8:44. But back, like, Liam was 8:44, and Leo was 2:14 in the morning.
I remember with Joanna, I went into labor at, like, 1 or 2 in the morning, and I was still living with my parents at the time. And I was like, Mom, what do contractions feel like? And she was like, they hurt. And I'm like, okay, check. This hurts.
Your mom.
I know. Well, everybody kept explaining to me as like, oh, it's a rolling or a tightening or what. I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, it just freaking hurts. Got it. She was like, it's like a mountain, I guess. And I'm like,
It does peak. Yeah,
it does. And like, I didn't understand it until I experienced it, but I was like, yep, there's the peak.
I definitely fought my body the first time. Mm-hmm. And I did end up getting the epidural because I had no idea what was happening. I never felt a contraction. I totally relate to that story. And it was like 2 a.m. But I was so pissed. I was so mad. I was stuck in transition for 4 hours. My body slowed because of the epidural.
No.
And that just fueled my resolve the second time to not get it. And I didn't.
Yeah.
But they were like, you might have preeclampsia. Which I got labs 2 days in a row. The day before my birthday and the day of my birthday.
No.
Like, same arm.
No.
I have terrible
Oh,
veins.
man.
Because they were like, we need to check you for preeclampsia. I'm pretty sure I just get really stressed out in a hospital setting.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I mean, that's facts.
And my blood pressure shoots up. And, I was like, I was induced the first time. So I really didn't feel contractions till they made me. And I was like, okay, so what actually does it feel like? No.
Oh.
Not until the very end.
Oh,
because the epidural. And I was like, you can put it up 1.
Yeah.
Because
I am
my
running
friend
the
had a
show.
story. They were like, yes, because a friend of mine, like, they put her on too much pit, and she was having, like, pushing contractions.
Yeah.
Way too early. And it was horrible for her.
Oh.
And I was like, note to self.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things, like, I was also tired. I was fighting the contractions, but the second time through, I rode them with Jesus.
Oh, man.
I let Jesus take me to the waves. It was like a whole mental thing.
Oh.
But like they were wanting to give me magnesium therapy, which would have left me in the delivery room for another 24 hours. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing this epidural. And I looked at my husband and I was like, it is your job to tell me no.
Yeah.
If I want it. And I didn't want it, but I felt like they were going to make me get it.
Yeah.
Because the deal is, if eclampsia happens, your body seizes and it won't protect the baby. It'll protect you. That's what they're concerned about.
Right.
But the only way to solve preeclampsia, which they had no evidence for except for my high blood pressure reading, which came down with blood pressure meds, is delivering the baby.
Right.
That's the paradox of preeclampsia or
Yeah.
whatever. So I didn't get an epidural the second time, and it was much better. But the anesthesiologists are hilarious. He was like, my wife, the first one with Liam was like, my wife, she went on her own too. Like, he was very encouraging. He was like, you can do it. I believe in you. But if you do need something, just let me know. And he came in to give me the epidural. And he was like, yeah, well, we got to the hospital, like, too late, and she couldn't have the epidural.
That was my mom with
screaming
Sydney.
at me. Like, he's telling me, he's like,
so funny.
he tells me the second half of the story after he got the epidural. He's like, yeah, my wife screamed at me, called me mean names. Like, she was so mad that she couldn't have the epidural. That's like, thank you for this. And the second one fueled my fire. Like, he was a funny guy. But he was like, yeah, like, 99.8% of people get an epidural. Kansas knows what's up. And I was like, you will not be seeing me later.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
We're done.
I will be part of the 0.2%.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm sure God let me have that one. Just to, like, feel my resolve.
That's so funny.
But I was like, I told myself, I was like, this is power, not pain. This is power, not pain. Like, this is my body doing something very profound right now.
Yeah. Oh.
And that was in, like, the Mama Natural, like, week by week handbook. It had these little, like, affirmations or whatever. But that one really stuck with me. Because it's true.
Yeah.
So it was super tingly afterwards.
When I had Joanna, they put me on a pit drip. She was very little. I don't really know why they did that. I don't think I needed. No, before.
All right.
I think I had the epidural and put me on a pit drip, and I guess maybe I wasn't progressing quickly. I don't know. It's been 8 years, but yeah. So my doctor came in. First time mom. I was 20 years old, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared, but I'm like ready for it because I'm like, get this kid out of me. I'm done. Like, she kicked me. Joanna was long. She kicked my ribs and bruised my rib. Damn. That hurt. Okay.
And I'm done.
10 out of 10. Don't recommend. Eviction. So
this is your eviction notice.
Get out. You have 24 hours. So
pack your stuff and go.
They put me on the drip, and my doctor came in to check on me, and I'm like, great, you're here on call. that's great. And he was like, cool, I'm going to go to the east side of town and do a surgery over there. And I'm like, what? I'm in the middle of something here and you're leaving?
Oh, that's funny.
And-
I was nice to my doctor when he said that.
No, I mean, I was nice, but that was my thought. I was like, okay.
No, he was like, I have a surgery. I should be back by the time you push this kid out. Like,
Yeah, so...
is that okay with you, or do you want me to reschedule? And I was like, it's fine if you think you can make it. And he did.
Well,
Like,
so-
barely, but he made it.
Before he told me, yeah, okay, thank you. Because before he told me he was leaving the hospital to go to a different hospital, he,
I was still in transition. I was like an 8, I think.
man, I don't even know what I was, but he came in
It's
to check
fresh
on me
for
a
me.
couple of times, and he was like, he told me, oh, I'm gonna go do a surgery over here and over here, and then he told me he was like leaving to go far, and I was like, that's a problem for me, because I'm doing a thing here, and I need you here to do your thing in my thing.
So articulate.
So I
when you're in
know.
labor.
Listen, it's fine. Labor's not. It's beautiful, but also not beautiful, right?
Yes.
Like it's not pretty. It's beautiful. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
great. So
Shout out to doctors for offering you a mirror to watch this show.
Oh my God! Yeah, they were like, "Do you want a
Not
mirror?" No.
I literally looked at him and I was like,
Absolutely not.
I'll see him when he gets out.
Yeah, I don't need to see this train wreck down here. Thanks.
No, exactly. I was like, Ethan, I could not be on your side of the aisle over here.
No.
I don't want to see I don't want to see that. I don't want to know. I'll just feel it, okay? I'm happy in my bubble. 'Cause
Curiosity is key.
It does not feel like anything is happening to you other than the contractions. It does not feel like a baby is moving. It does not feel like anything's
So that
gonna
was
come out
different
of
for
you
me with Joanna.
till the last minute when you're actually pushing them out the canal.
Yeah. Okay,
For
so
me.
get this. Doctor left to go do that surgery far away, and he called his team to check on me, and they came in and assessed me, and they were like, yeah, she's getting really close, almost ready to push, and he was like, okay, go ahead and get her started, because like your first time out, you could be pushing for a long time. And apparently I'm really good, because they
Fantastic.
told me to start, and boy howdy was she ready, because they called doctor and they're like, hey, she's crowning, and he was like, all right, stop. And I was like, what? I put my feet in the stirrups, and they're like, stop pushing. And I'm like, and they're like, she has a lot of hair. And I'm like, can you pull it maybe? Like, can we get her out?
I issued an eviction notice. I don't know if you knew this,
Yeah, and
but it expires at
So
1.
they were trying to make me feel better, because I was like trying to like I was trying to
Hold
hold
it
it open,
in.
and she,
Hold the baby
she
in,
was like,
but remain open.
they said, well, you can bear down. And I'm like, I can't. I'll squish her. like she's not already squished or something.
We need a new segment,
know.
birth stories with Haley.
Listen, I've got 4 real good ones.
Yeah, that was the most surreal feeling of them being like, stirrup, stirrup.
I
I was
know.
like, oh no.
And then, so with like the epidural, I could move my legs, but I didn't have a lot of control over my legs. So they had me straddle a
Yeah, it's the peanut ball.
yeah. So I was on my left side, and they're like, okay, let's flip to your right side. So I rolled over, but they were like, bring your leg over here, and it went flop. They just laughed at me. I was like,
it ran
sorry.
away.
Could you fix that? Thanks.
This is not your job. Who gives you?
I can't do this right. It's fine.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I feel like we actually covered quite a bit in this episode.
We did.
Birth, vaccines, sourdough. Oh, we did not do our must-have baby items, but we'll do, or baby items, kid items, life items, but we can do that next
We'll do
time.
that another time.
That sounds like an episode all in itself. But comment below. Are you scrunchy, crunchy, silky?
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends who discerned, like, we did an episode with one of them who discerned formula feeding because it was best for her mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pro whatever God wants you to do.
Yep.
Because he usually has a reason for it, and that means he's going to provide the means by which your kids will be okay
Yep.
through it.
Amen.
And that's it. Like,
Yep.
that's what this comes... I think that's really the synopsis of all our things.
Yep.
That's how you surrender to the Lord. Is you
Love your kids. Take care of your kids. Do what God's asking you to do. Check, check, check.
Amen. Praise. Preach.
Yep.
Yep. So comment below. Crunchy, scrunchy. You can comment below if you relate to any of these stories, if you do sourdough or not. Like, just let us know what's going on and how you feel about these topics. Vaccines, yes or no. We're not here to judge. We're just here to
Not at all.
to understand better. Like,
Yep. I've got
Where we
plenty
need
of
to
nurse
surrender
friends who are like, hey, I respect your choice. And I'm like, hey, I respect yours. Like, it's
Hey,
good.
I'm glad we're mutually
It's all love
respectful.
over here.
It's all love. No, I think that's a great way to be. Like,
Yeah.
hey, if you're trying that, please let me know how it goes and give
Yeah.
me your thoughts on it. Like, that's what I tell my friends who.
As long as you're taking
choose
care of your kids,
differently.
we can be friends.
Yes.
Like, that's fine.
All right, Haley. Always reach out to us if you have episode ideas or other fun things at hello@Holy Surrender. That is WHOLLYSURRENDER.com. I'll probably spell it every time because, you know.
It's a play on words.
It is a
Because
play
we're
on
crafty.
words. And we don't want you to have to think that hard. That's what we're here for. So, leave us. Hey, while you're at it, just leave us a rating and a 5-star review.
We're telling you what you're going to rate us next.
Honestly, I think the people would have expected you to be like, it'll be 5 stars, nothing less.
And here's, you can choose what to tip. It's fine.
You can choose what to tip.
Totally optional.
But do it.
Like, we're going to look
That
this
is
way
the
as long as you hit the highest tip.
That is the subcontext of going anywhere that you have to tip. It's like, I'm under pressure.
Yep.
Yes, we...
That's a topic for another day.
Yes. Are we scrunchy, crunchy, silky? We don't know. We are pro whatever the Lord wants to do in your life. Mm-hmm. Catch us every week on Monday having these unhinged, fun conversations about living a surrendered life in Christ, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.